I'm going to be reading a monologue from a play that I wrote called Put Up Your Hand. They're all, it's a play about school. And actually I'm going to be performing the show, all the monologues here at the Red Sandcastle, second weekend, I guess, in September.
And you'll have a bathroom downstairs.
That's right. So, Put Up Your Hand is a play of, it exists in various forms, but one form is a series of separate monologues, all characters to do with the educational system. And I was thinking, well, which one should I do? And I was going to, and then I realized there was one speech, which I don't think I've done very often. I mean, other actors have done this one, but not myself. And it's one speech, there actually is a line about the bathroom.
Excellent. And
I thought, I can't not do this one. So you can't miss it. When it comes, you can stop the monologue and applaud. All right, so this monologue is called First Day. And it is, the character is referred to as a young mum. I'll make it a young dad. And I think the name says it all. It's First Day. He is nervously sending his little boy off to his first day at school. And he's getting his son's lunch ready in the kitchen, and this is how the monologue begins. This is the first monologue in the play. Peanut butter and strawberry jam. Peanut allergies, I know, but it's his favorite. Fruit cup for dessert, a pudding cup for snack, a banana for the afternoon. I hope he doesn't eat the whole lot at morning recess. I'm not even sure he eats this much now at home. I just don't want him to go in there unprepared. I've reviewed the bus route with him. The principal, he's so stupid. Bus routes that are numbered are fine for older kids, but grade 1s? I'm going to suggest they change the numbers to colors. Much easier. Oh, I guess I'm going to be one of those meddlesome parents right from the start. I've met his teacher, Miss Salazar. She's young, very pretty. Hope she knows her stuff. I told her she's just as nice as Jane at the daycare, except you can't call her by her first name. I'm sure he'll be fine. Don't you look wonderful? Honey, don't forget your new school bag. It's at the end of your bed. I hope she's not like Mrs. Overby. Mrs. Overby, high school social studies. She used to tell us about her abortion. She used to test us on it. They don't have teachers like that in public school, do they? She used to tell us, I mean, what could happen to him in public school? He could come out illiterate, that's what. He could come out dyslexic, no number concept, socially delayed, a loner, sent to the resource room for social readjustment or whatever they call it now. No, honey, I can't watch Peter Pan with you right now. I'm getting your lunch. If Miss Salazar is anything as good as Mrs. Patterson, he'll be fine. Mrs. Patterson was wonderful. My mother and I once met her at the mall and we went for tea. And I was just so amazed to see a teacher of mine outside the classroom. And she knew it. She acted like we did this all the time. She smiled and said to the waitress, I hate to be a bother, but could I please have some more hot water to freshen up my tea? Just like that. The waitress couldn't help but satisfy her request. I mentioned her exact words, I memorized her exact words and tone of voice, and I've never been refused a second cup of tea, free of charge, anywhere. Mrs. Patterson wasn't like Miss Fell. She liked me so much she put me in the gifted math class when I really needed remedial help. When I was blackboard monitor, Gudrun Frater came up and she gave me a valentine. Mrs. Patterson eyed the whole thing, but she never let on. She didn't taunt us or draw attention to us. She even made an excuse to leave the room for a minute while we finished washing the blackboards together. No, honey, Tinkerbell won't die. Yes, I'll clap with you. I have a confession. I broke into Mrs. Patterson's desk once. I didn't take anything, I just looked. Me and Gudrun Frater. We broke in through the window one weekend. Mrs. Patterson noticed, too. On Monday, she warned the blackboard monitors to double-check the latches on the windows because someone had broken in, and I thought, we were so careful. How did she know? But of course she knew. Mrs. Patterson wasn't the only one. In junior high, there was Mr. Scarlatti, who enthralled us with his readings of The Midsummer Night's Dream. Mr. Tomatis, whose favorite short story was The Lottery, and wore a cape when reading Edgar Allan Poe aloud. with the lights turned out. Mrs. Peckham in history taught us how in the Jewish religion all temples face Jerusalem, and I was so fascinated that for about 6 weeks my parents wondered if I was going to convert. It was because of you, Mrs. Patterson, that I tried to become a teacher. I got as far as Teachers College. Practice teaching. I failed practice teaching. My supervisor told me she would have failed me earlier, except the kids liked me so much. I don't know. I couldn't handle all the juggling, all the personalities. I mean, sometimes I'm at my wit's end with just Robbie. Maybe I could do it now. Maybe I couldn't be as bad as some of the teachers I had. Like grade 5, Miss Vestula, who pushed me onto the stage and the sound of music, even though I couldn't sing a note. I'd already peed my costume out of nervousness. And ever since then, whenever I hear Edelweiss, I have to go to the bathroom. In grade 6, Mr. Sloat, vice principal, kept our entire class in detention till almost dinner time, so my parents thought I'd been kidnapped or run over. Grade 7, Mr. Wheatley, the gym teacher with the eternal tan, who literally ran everyone into the ground. Madame Andrews, grade 8, stuttered. She had no French accent whatsoever. No wonder I'm not bilingual. Mr. Corelli, who conducted the concert band like a torture scene out of Clockwork Orange. Mrs. Rilling, she threw chalk at us in chemistry because we couldn't memorize the periodic table. Never mind. Mrs. Overby and her abortion. Robbie! My baby. To heck with the bus for the first day. I'm driving you. We'll have to stop off at the ATM on the way. Daddy has no money for gas. You know, I remember Mrs. Patterson taught me that if the 0 comes after the last number after the decimal point, don't worry about it. Meaning it has no value. Or it doesn't mean anything. I still don't understand it. I just remember it. Like when I'm at the ATM. One less button to push. If he gets one Mrs. Patterson, it'll make up for all the rest.